I got to tell you, the sock looks way cleaner this week.
Thank you. I've been coming less. That's
Oh,
kind of honestly a little bit of a household cleaning tip. Come
uh-huh.
less. Just get so depressed that you can't come all over everything. And that's kind of a weird way, a little helpful hint. Helen's helpful, Hampton's helpful Helen.
Helen.
Yeah. And do that. Just come less. That's my trick.
Damn, dude. I didn't wait. Hold on. I have numerous questions. Uh, um,
I'll allow one, and we'll see
okay.
where it goes.
Okay. So you're saying that normally where do you come that it requires cleanup but you have the sock? You know what I mean?
Everywhere, dude. I mean, it's my place. Like I pay the rent
Got it.
until Georgina starts paying all of the rent or even some. I'm I'm busting everywhere.
Got it. Got it,
It's like
dude.
that's mine. That's mine. Don't touch that. Don't touch that Xbox controller.
And you came on that Xbox controller. So what does it have to do with the sock?
That's why it's cleaner. I've been coming a lot less.
So you're saying that on a normal week, you come both in the sock a lot and like all over the house.
Everything. It's everything.
I see. Okay, I'm sorry. You know what? This is my fault.
If you just take your cum and you put it in a bucket and you kind of add like a saline solution, it adds more. Like there's more, so it's easier to spread it around. And I just
That's actually
yeah.
That's how you make napalm. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
You put cum and saline in a bucket.
Yeah,
and
Fight Club taught me that the way to make napalm is guys cum.
Oh man, have you ever? Maybe we've talked about this on the show before. Have you ever made napalm? Did you do that as a kid?
I think
I
we
made some napalm.
tried. Yeah, I think everybody tried. What's with that? Why was was it the Anarchist Cookbook and Fight Club coming out around?
I think it was both that and the fact that the internet had just started, so you could find all this shit.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, the Anarchist Cookbook was like a really obscure book, but then the internet made it everywhere. So then there were always kids who I found out how to make napalm.
Totally.
You were like, I have to hang out with this kid.
Totally. My friends Kurt and Brian were brothers, and I went over there to hang out with them one day, and they were like, "We're making napalm and throwing it into the woods," and I was like, "Great!" I was, man, awesome. This is way better than watching a movie about this.
Everybody, it's all just shy of being a mass shooter, but fun. It's fun.
But you're a mass shooter, but you're shooting the woods, so it's okay.
Mass shooting up, an arcade with a laser gun. I'm a laser tag mass shooter. That's my thing. I invite a bunch of kids and I shoot them the fuck up. I hold them down, put lasers right in their retinas.
Oh, man. Tell you what, I would have killed numerous people in my school if it weren't for Time Crisis. Between Time Crisis and House of Dead and that game Lucky and Wild, holy shit, dude, I ain't killed nobody. Hey, everybody, welcome to Y'all Ever. You're listening to Y'all Ever. My name is Dave Ross.
Hi, I'm Hampton Yount.
And I want to say real quick right up top, thank you all so much for listening. This is episode fucking 3 of the new version of our podcast, and we're already having so much fun. Since we changed the name and stuff, I do want to say, please, like and subscribe to the show and rate us on iTunes and review us and share us around online.
We're print up transcripts of the show, have sex with them.
Yeah,
do cosplay of Dave and I. Do some cosplay.
If you dig it, just help us get the word out. Even if getting the word out for you is going to a sex party and going up to people who are having sex and whispering in their ear, "Listen to Y'all Ever," whatever.
y'all ever get scared? That's what I whisper into people's ear. Are you scared during quarantine? Why am I in your quarantine?
Also, follow us on Twitter, Y'all Ever Podcast. I've been having some fun writing Y'all Evers on there, and we've been getting responses. Man,
Oh,
it's
those
been,
are so good, man.
hey,
Honestly.
thanks, dude. I've been having fun on Twitter for the first time in, in a while, because you know me and
Wow.
Twitter.
I would think there's a loss of personality and you got to fully become the internet.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
fun. Yeah.
I have some problems with Twitter. I don't know.
Have some
Look, if
beef.
you want to hear them, I could tell you. I mean, I'm a little different. I don't like Twitter.
You're like, Dave, you're very much like, I don't want politics. I just want pictures of dogs and sketches that my friends wrote.
Absolutely, dude. I don't even want to hear about this virus.
I don't even want to know why I'm inside. Fuck
Yeah,
you. That's why. Because I
I
want
just
to.
want
How
to
about that?
thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for letting me stay inside all the time and finally talk to my friends for one for one.
It's exhausting. Did
Yes.
you know most friends want to talk for at least an hour? Guys, we're close. We're not that close.
It is a funny thing too, where kind of everyone expects everyone to not be doing anything. So it's like,
Yeah.
do you want to talk? And you can't be busy. No one allowed you to be busy.
I know. People like when this all started and we're going to quarantine and I'm literally having conversations like, yeah, I think it's the end of the world. Anyway, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. And they're like, what do you have to do? And I was like, I'm building a garden, man.
Oh yeah, your
really
garden.
I'm making a Mad Max, scenario for myself.
By the way, speaking of gardens, we got an email. Our email is y'alleveremail@gmail.com, and the phone number is 802-43-butts. And we prompt you to send us your stories, of your anxiety stories, your stories of crazy shit that you have done because of coronavirus, or whatever you want to share with us for us to talk about. But also, we love getting your emails, just any thoughts you have on the show, on whatever. And this girl Amy emailed us and said, "I've become fully invested in Hampton's garden status. Please provide," and then the rest is all caps. "Constant updates. Please entertain me. I need this content." And I agree. I think we need weekly updates of Hampton's garden. What's up with your garden, bro?
Well, I've kind of moved on to harvesting organs because
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Hear me out. Hear me
All right.
out.
All right.
I've got Georgia tied up with something like draining the blood, into little IVs. I'm storing blood, Dave. We're gonna need it. We're definitely gonna need blood.
This got dark.
Well, it got disappointing because my real garden started dying almost immediately.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's hard not to move on to organ harvesting when you're like, well, I can't even make broccoli grow. I'd be stupid to not gather blood.
I'm gonna go out on a weird limb and say that it is definitely easy to not harvest organs. That's what I'm gonna say. I think that's the easier.
Oh, I'm Dave. I'm the authority. It was hard for me to cut through Aristotle one time, so therefore it's hard for Hampton and everyone.
Wow, thank you for telling our listeners that I tried to kill Aristotle. That was supposed to be between us. Fuck,
it was while he was
dude.
sleeping.
That's true. He would have gone quietly.
I'll get back to the garden, but
Okay.
I do have a weird thing in my head that I keep thinking is so funny is if I just kept sneaking out during quarantine and like sleeping in people's beds while they're still asleep, and I'm just like curling up behind them and like coughing on them and like.
Dude,
anyway, that's just can't stop thinking about it.
What's funny is that I had to like move my head and I laughed real hard at that, but I don't think it went into the mic. So it was just
you could laugh directly into the computer, so I know you're a human being. You laugh like a kung fu villain.
Dude, I was thinking today how funny it would be if I threw a surprise party for Sharpie. It's like Like how you would react if you walked out and
Yes.
there were like 40 people in your apartment and they were all patting you on the back. You'd be like, thank you, but fuck, dude, what?
Lick this spoon. Lick this spoon.
Oh man.
Cool.
I can't wait to see stand up again about eating ass. That's gonna be different, huh?
I like that my stand-up's gonna be like, y'all ever try and grow a garden because you're worried about the mutant hordes? You know, this guy was in the mutant horde. He thought he could eat my garden. So like, I don't know what happened right away. It might have been a bunny got in and chewed up half of it right away. So
Oh,
then everything
really?
just died.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
So it's like, you know, what are you gonna do?
You sure it wasn't Georgia?
You know what? I'm gonna wake her up right now. I'm gonna get to the fucking bottom of this, dude. No,
Wow.
you're gonna tell me, okay, coincidence, there's a bunny in the neighborhood that I keep
Oh.
seeing, and oh wait, my garden happens to be full of holes, or my wife likes to eat.
Which one's more likely,
Which one's more
Georgia,
likely, Georgia?
that there's a bunny or some bugs out there eating little holes in it, or you with a little knife carving out little holes? Which one's more likely, huh? Fuck you.
So I'm kind of transitioning as an update here on the garden. I still
Mm.
have other plants and I still have some of the garden that's unaffected. I'm gonna move them inside of a fenced off area, but I'm kind
Oh,
of
okay.
gambling with it because like it's better for them to really be in the soil than to be in these pots I'm gonna have to put them in initially.
Was the garden initially in your front yard?
No, this is the very back.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
behind my garage. There's like a bunch of soil and stuff.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
I never take you there.
Yeah, I've never seen your garden. I didn't
You've
know
never
that.
seen my secret garden, Dave. That's totally true.
Dude.
I just realized
Um,
you've never seen my secret garden.
it's up until now, I had felt like our relationship was like that song "Father of Mine" by Everclear. Uh, no, wait, wrong song. What's the song that's like, "I will buy you a garden where your flowers can grow"? That's not
That's also
Father of
by
Mine.
Everclear.
Yeah, it's not
What is
Father
it
of Mine. What
called?
is it? It's like
I think it's called "Daddy, Are You My Father?"
yeah, totally.
Daddy, Father, I'm your son.
I want a daddy.
Hug me, Daddy. Dude, this is the now greatest hits of the 90s. Like all the fathers leading songs. Daddy, hug me, crying.
Daddy, hug
angel
me.
song.
You're my father. I think that song is called "I Have a Wife, but what I really want is a daddy."
I need a daddy.
I need a daddy.
I need a daddy. I've been
That's like
bad.
that's a Nirvana song. I wanted a daddy, but all I got was a wife.
Dude, that is true. I wanted a daddy, and all I got was a wife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the
Guys,
what's
by
the
the way,
Nirvana lyric?
You can
Anyway.
check out our pizza shit shirts. Still totally available at our Threadless store. What is it? Y'all ever .threadless.com?
Yes, sir.
There it is. That's a good way to help out the pod and look sexy as fuck.
Yeah. We also got Y'all Ever shirts and Feeling shirts up there still. Oh, also, I want to say real quick, we are now putting out weekly Patreon bonus episodes. And that's patreon.com/y'all ever. You get one a week for $5 subscribers and up. And we're changing it. We used to put out solo bonus episodes, just one of each of us talking for like a half an hour for the $10 patrons and up. That changes starting next month, but I put a couple up there if you want to hear those. And one last piece of business on my end. I'm sorry. Business. I'm starting a new podcast. It's called Get Stupid.
Yeah, there it is.
It's hell yeah. I know I keep talking about it, but it starts next week. Next Tuesday, there will be an intro episode of Get Stupid. I'll be posting links and shit, but also I'm going to post the intro episode. It's like 3-4 minutes long. I'm going to post it on the Patreon today when this episode comes out. So everyone who's a Patreon subscriber can hear the intro to that. It has a theme song originally written and recorded by Chris Cresswell of the Flatliners and Hot Water Music. And the show is just, it's called Get Stupid because it's going to be me acting like a dumbass as much as possible and then doing one-on-one interviews with people where I ask them what is fucking them up right now. And then after they are done pouring their heart out, I'm going to make them tell me what they think is funny about it.
Under threat of torture.
I will kill you if you don't make it funny. No, it's just a comedy show where we get dumb.
Funny about your trauma. Yeah.
Exactly. Make it funny, you idiot. You suck. I mean, that's, yeah. Well, I just want to get silly and have some fun, talking about some serious shit. We're also going to play games and shit like that. Hampton, if you want to do it, I'd love to have you on. No pressure, you know. It's up to you, dude. I mean, I know you don't want to, but
pretty busy, dude. I got a lot of gardening I got to get to. Things are pretty busy on my end.
Hampton has another podcast too called Nice Bum, Where You From, with his aforementioned rabbit wife, who eats his carrots.
Yeah, it's a good one, guys. Check it out. It's already up on iTunes. It's me and my wife, Georgia Brooks, going a little crazy. This is definitely a look inside of two people in quarantine dealing with it. And it's so fun, but it's just a totally different kind of podcast. We also, every episode, we talk about your hometown stories. So people write us in and tell us kind of like weird, amazing, stupid, gross, criminal stories of their hometowns, any sort of stories that people want to share. And we always appreciate those getting sent to nicebumcast@gmail. If any listeners here want to send one over, I'd appreciate that.
Hampton, can I tell you, you know what's criminal is not listening to that podcast. That's what's criminal.
I don't threaten my audience, Dave.
Oh yeah. I don't threaten my audience. I threaten my guests. Hampton. No, I know. I'm interested in how the format goes. Obviously, I don't want to go too dark because I don't want it to be a show about it's my I want the whole show to be, it's called Get Stupid, for fuck's sake. But I really like the idea of someone being like, yeah, I had this fucked up thing happen, and I'm like, find something funny about it. And they're like, well, there was a banana, or I don't know. That's a terrible example.
You're interviewing Donkey Kong or something. Well, a plumber stole my fucking girlfriend. Then he ruined my house. Yeah, it's construction material. Well, I have a banana, though.
I think it's just that I like to be dumb, but I had a suicide podcast, for fuck's sake.
Oh, plus I'd love to put you on the defensive.
Yeah, I know. Why am I getting all insecure? Thanks, Hampton.
Yeah, I don't need to defend my podcast, Nice Bum, Where You're From. The world's only podcast between two divorcing adults.
Damn, you're so right, too. I got so insecure right away. You know what it is I've been thinking about? It's doing a solo pod. I've never done a solo just comedy podcast. I just haven't. And so I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm excited. I think it'll be good, man. I've made some real stupid shit for it. It's gonna be good.
Got any sponsors lined up? Miller?
Yeah.
Budweiser?
Miller, but Anheuser-Busch, absolutely. Trojan condom, Magnum condoms, fucking Ford.
Maybe you should get some stupid sponsors for this, Get Stupid. So the SATs could sponsor you, or Mensa.
Mathnasium. Yeah, dude.
Mathnasium. I don't think I've ever heard anyone even say that out loud.
Dude, Rand, do you know who Rand Barnacle is? Have you met Rand? He's a comic in Cincinnati. He's so funny, dude. He's one of my favorite comics. Really good friend, too. And it's important that you know how funny he is, too, for this story, because he hosted for me the last time I did a weekend at Go Bananas, the club there. And he was like, buddy, I got this new Mathnasium bit. I'm going to open my set with it every night. And I was like, cool, dude. I'm excited to see it. And he did open with it every night. and it bombed every night.
What?
Every night. And he killed the rest of his set because he's so funny. But we were like, "We're gonna do that mathnasium," but he's like, "Oh yeah, it'll work." It didn't work. Uh,
What's the bit?
you know what?
Yeah,
I'll have him on.
it's
I'm gonna have
good.
Rand on Get Stupid, and he can do the bit.
What if it's like so good now? Like he can close with it. You know
It
what I
might
mean?
be.
Like if he believe I've never believed in a joke that hard. To
Yeah.
do 4 shows in front of the headliner after I told him I'm gonna do like you're setting yourself up so much.
Totally.
Um
Well, I mean, that's the confidence. He was also, like I said, smashing the rest of his sets, so it didn't really matter. And also,
mm,
he had a callback to Mathnasium that killed like 5 minutes later. So that's why I think. But it was just, I think I don't know. Maybe this sounds a little crazy, but I really loved it because it didn't scare me. It didn't make the shows bad or something. And it was like I got to watch. Like I liked the bit. And you know when you like something and you just
yeah.
watch rooms of people like not process it, and so to just watch it happen over and over was like sort of in a Schadenfreude kind of way, really really funny to me. Um, but anyway, that's just what I think of when I think of Mathnasium. That's it. I love Rand Barnacle, Mathnasium. We should I should get Mathnasium to sponsor my stupid podcast. Get Stupid, sponsored by Mathnasium, the Princeton Review, and the University of Southern California.
I've just written a mathnasium joke. It's just
Here we
now.
go.
Okay. I saw the store the other day called the Mathnasium. Yeah, I'll stop there after I stop at the Science Cafeteria.
Nice, dude. Wow. That's crazy.
I can't believe the kid is still the king.
Yeah, dude. Oh my, the Science Cafeteria
The
and the
Science
Mathnasium.
Cafeteria. Yeah.
I can't believe that, dude.
Maybe the Mathnasium. Maybe I'll stop there after I stop at the bully makes me suck his dick schwitz.
I think that you kind of lost track of the joke there, bud.
No, I made it better.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, you're right.
Totally better.
Dude, by the way, I had my first like I was saying to you last week, it hadn't all really hit me. I've been taking everything that we're going through in stride. But I had my first freak out on last Thursday. And it's really interesting. I think it's going to be, again, like we said last episode, and I said, I don't know if I've said it yet this episode. We prompt you to email us or leave voicemails based on stories, based on a prompt, a question. And our prompt is what, oh, sorry, I need to form it as a y'all ever. I don't want to forget that. Y'all ever do something weird or crazy as a result of quarantine and coronavirus? And first of all, we got some really great stories, which makes sense because we're all going through crazy shit. But we're going to keep that prompt going through this week because we're all still going through this. Anyway, I send us your stories. I had been really keeping a level head, and it had been affecting me and making me sad and stuff. But I had just been taking it day by day. And it's going to be interesting seeing how it unfolds because some people are going to react to it viscerally in the moment right up front. But then some people, it's going to be, I think, kind of beneath the surface. And it's more beneath the surface for me, which I wouldn't expect because I feel like I'm pretty in tune with my feelings. At least I am in a lot of ways. But anyway, so I did an Instagram live comedy show last Thursday called Comedy Quarantine. I think they're going to do more of them. It was really fun. A bunch of people watched. I went crazy. I was just like, people were leaving comments and I was doing crowd work on their comments kind of. It was fun. And I felt really fulfilled in that. And then a couple people told me they liked it. And then I was just talking to a good friend of mine on the phone and they just made a joke about how my set sucked. And they were
Jesus.
They were definitely kidding.
Yeah.
But I will say this as a disclaimer and something for us all to keep in mind. We don't have the audience. So like I think on the internet, it's like way harder to perceive someone's like winking or someone's joking. And in this era right now where we're going to have to all be talking online, we should keep that in mind. And look, I'm not blaming them, but I will say I had gotten 2 pieces of feedback on the first time I performed in a week or two. And then the third piece of feedback was negative. And I fucking wigged out, man. Luckily I didn't scream at them or say anything mean or something. I don't react that way lately, but I was like, what do you mean? Was it bad? What's wrong? Oh my God, are you kidding? And then when they were like, oh my God, no, Dave, I loved it. I was fucking with you. And then I hung up the phone and I a full fucking panic attack where I couldn't stop being angry and I couldn't stop pacing around. And then I went to the grocery store and just looking around and shopping was the only thing that calmed me down. Luckily I needed to. And then my roommate that night, Chris Charpentier, he was going through something and we ended up talking out. We couldn't we couldn't be there for each other because we were both freaking out separately. And so we were both just kind of mad and upset separately. And then we ended up talking about it and sitting together and we both teared up. It was crazy and emotional. And I dude, like I said, I feel like I'm pretty plugged into my brain, but I mean, I think I could, if I get negative feedback on a set, that could upset me and that's separate from coronavirus or whatever.
Right.
But the level of upset I got was definitely that I was like a hair trigger and I was ready to flip out because I'm under the surface really fucking stressed about this. I realized that after a few hours. I wouldn't normally freak out.
It's building up because of that after all this time.
Yeah.
So you're saying since this has all been kind of going on, you haven't broken down crying or
no
thought about things in kind of a despondent way or anything? I mean, that's been a lot of me.
Yeah.
And I find it, I hear you, I get it. Because in certain other aspects of my life or other tragedies that have happened, I don't know, sometimes you're able to compartmentalize it or you're just not ready to react yet,
Right.
And then with this, it's it's hitting me immediately. And so that's my own thing. But I mean, it's interesting because it's I mean, I've had so many times where a comic, you'll do a set and it goes well, usually, or whatever. And then afterwards, people are you suck. Your friend will be yeah, dude, get it together, which is my favorite thing to do to other comics is be
right.
Dude, hang it up. You suck. But
right.
It's without the audience being there. And it's can't we also just acknowledge, hey, let's not bust each other's balls right now so much.
Yeah. Well, I will say,
pull back the busting balls thing.
The reason, I'm with you, man. I love to do that to comics and I love to have it happen to me. But the reason that works is that everyone in the whole room just saw the whole room laughing. And so the only reason you would none of those people that would give you shit are bad people. But what happened was my friend felt like I killed. And so they were like, well, Dave killed, so it's okay for me to give him shit. But what they forgot was I didn't have any response for me to see. I was in a vacuum saying it. So they were just saying a thing without me being confident that I did well. And it's, like I said, not fuck them. That's fine. We are good friends. So it also wasn't that crazy of them to think that at all. It was okay. So, and like I said, I brought a lot to the table, but I do think that we need to remember that the context is gone with us all interacting on the internet and to sort of treat each other a little bit more softly, both because it's the internet and because we're all fucked up right now. We are, man. Everyone's fucked up.
Everyone.
Truly.
You start getting into stand-up. Everyone fucked up.
Listen, you know what's weird?
The only way I'm going to allow these streaming comedy shows to keep going on, because I think it's a genuinely bad idea.
Okay.
Because I haven't been invited to do a one. I think they should invite hecklers. Hecklers should be pop in or a table of drunk women at a having a bachelorette party. They're not even involved in the stream. They're what is this stream? Ooh, talk about her tits. She's a whore. All that fun stuff that makes comedy. I'm sorry, if you remove that, it's no longer stand-up comedy.
Actually, Hampton, can I tell you something? I think, and I actually mean this, and I'm going
Yeah.
to talk to you more about it after recording. I think that you and I should book a streaming show that we host, but every comic that is booked is there just to heckle a show we can't see.
I'm pretty in. I'm
That's
pretty in.
like, because that's my one thought about streaming live comedy is it's like, it's not the same. It's not stand up.
Yeah, there's no
It's not.
fear. There's no fear, right? I mean, that's why every comic was upset at every YouTuber like taking away comedy gigs because they're like, it's not what I do. You know, they talk into their phone and they think everyone thinks they're going to be quick on their feet. And it's like, yeah, well now we all signed up immediately to start doing it. Like comics
Yeah.
couldn't take a week off.
I know. It's crazy.
I do think.
I'll write you a story. I'll do anything.
I'll suck your dick to get the punchline. Man, it's like it's cool. I really don't, I like community stuff and I like for people to feel good, but I did have that thought of like, man, you guys, like level of narcissism with stand up is kind of hysterical.
Yeah, we're insane, dude.
You know, we're in a vacuum, so it's like if you remove the ability to give us positive reinforcement live, like you just see how crazy stand-ups are
totally
getting.
we're
And I guess I better buy in, dude. Yeah,
to a certain extent we are addicted. Addicted to laughs.
Good heroin. Oh, I get it.
You finally understand.
I finally get it now.
We're going to take a real quick break and we're going to come back and read some of your emails about y'all ever do something crazy because of coronavirus or quarantine. And remember, the email is y'alleveremail@gmail.com. And the phone number is 802-43-BUTTS. And also, please remember that I love you so much.
Whoa. Dave does love you.
I'm kissing
Your father
my computer.
Your mother is a little bit more of a stern hand. Daddy Dave.
Daddy Dave Care. That's my name.
Daddy Dave Care.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
We'll be back.
Horniness in the time of Corona.
Oh.
That's what I'm calling this chapter of my life.
We should call this episode "Y'all Ever Get Horny," because we're trying to get some we're trying to get some incels to listen to our show.
You see how clean the sock is? I'm not horny at all.
Yeah, but you were so horny you had to clean it. So think about that. You know what I mean? Let's get into some emails, man. Like we said, the email is y'alleveremail@gmail.com. The phone number is 802-43-BUTTS. You got one that you wanted to read, right, Hampton?
Yeah, thanks guys for taking the time to write these to us. I'll jump in. If they let me say their name at the end, I'll throw it on. This email is titled Corona Cheese Melt. So
I love it.
Sounds actually really fucking delicious. And maybe we should stop this podcast and just go eat a sandwich.
I agree.
Should we meet up for meals? Should we be breaking quarantine?
Should we touch faces? I think we should touch faces. And I don't mean touch your face with my hand. I mean touch your face with my face.
I want to do the Lady and the Tramp like spaghetti noodle. That's how we introduced ourselves back into talking up close to each other.
Yeah, once this is all over, I think we should all kiss, you know?
That's a good tweet, dude. All right.
Hell yeah, dude.
Corona Cheese Melt. They start. I want to start by saying thank you, of course. Hearing your guys' voice during times like these is one of the few things that has provided me with some well-needed normalcy over the past week. For that, I am forever grateful.
We're grateful for you.
Yeah, that was so nice. Thank you.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
You're helping us out. Thank
Seriously.
you. Hey, she goes on, I have been doing lots of stupid shit since all this started, as I am slightly in panic mode, but this one is on top of the list. Here is my story. Once upon a Corona night, I was making burgers. As I was cutting slices of tomato, I noticed that I had left the container for the tomato on a burner. It's a glass top stove that was cooling off. I quickly moved that container off and thought how lucky I was that it didn't melt. Little did I think about the whole little did I think about the whole container of cheese I had also set on the burner. When it came time to slice the cheese up, I gasped as I suddenly glued into one eye and done. I had left it on there for so long that the cheese was melted along with the bottom of the container. So now
Whoa.
so now my stove now has a 3D plastic stain.
Wait a minute. So what happened was she was like, "Oh shit, the container for the tomato is on a burner,
Mhm.
so I'll move that,"
I'll move
and
that.
then moved a plastic Tupperware filled with cheese and then just cooked it. Dude, yeah, man, we're all going crazy for sure.
Wow. Yeah,
I
I expected that story to be a lot more delicious, and
yeah.
I gotta say that's a real tease. All right, to name your story Corona cheese melt, and then it didn't go into a tasty sandwich story. I just want you to know people are out here suffering, and we don't need this kind of negativity.
Yeah, you're kind of like setting us up to be disappointed when you say Corona cheese melt and then you just melted cheese. I mean, honestly, I'm hungry now, and that's your fucking fault. I will say that I definitely had trouble for a second picturing what happened, but now I'm rereading the email, and she says, as I was cutting slices of tomato, I noticed that I had left the container for the tomato on a burner.
Mm.
Um, I quickly moved that container off, but I didn't think about the whole container of cheese. That's funny. So I'm just picturing like this person is cooking and just trying to cook food, and every time they're done with a container, just sets them on a hot burner.
And now I ruined this. Now I ruined
Dude,
this. This is kind of like a Martha Stewart's Living where she's telling you how to be like destroy your life. And then you
yeah.
just use these scissors and cut off the ends of your fingers. And now you've made a sandwich.
It's also just so funny to think how we really are just all, I mean, that happens. Things like that happen
Mm.
when your mind is elsewhere. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I notice myself doing shit like that all the time. You know what I've been doing constantly that's like uh not exactly that, but I will, I do a lot of things in my room, and I will like I'm gonna eat in my room and watch a movie in my room, But then I'm just thinking about whatever the fuck. I don't even know what's up with my brain, but I like okay, yesterday I made tacos, and that's like a bunch of little containers, and I was going to take all the containers into my room and then make the tacos sitting at my desk on a plate, right?
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
what
I
I kept
thought you
doing was
meant
like,
tacos are little containers. I was like, oh,
oh,
that's
well,
adorable.
and tacos are like a little container you can eat. If you think about it,
I
huh?
really thought you were being like,
It's
tacos
like
are like little containers.
imagine if you could eat the bag the sandwich was in too. That's a taco. Um,
I still don't get it.
um, no, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna need hot sauce in there, and then I took the hot sauce in, and then I came out and I was like, why didn't I just bring everything in? And then I was like, ooh, I need sour cream, and I walked the sour cream into my room, and then I went back to the kitchen, and I was like, I should just grab the container of lettuce and meat and the shells. And then I was like, ooh, I do need the shells. And I walked the shells in. And I was like, why didn't I bring all of them in? I did it over and over again. I walked back and forth to my room literally like 11 times instead of just carrying it all at once. And I
Wow.
fucking don't know why.
That feels like what I honestly catch myself doing a lot of anyway.
Yeah.
like I
Yes.
swear to God, I'm home all the time, a lot, already, and it's like, man, I just walk around the house. It's nonstop movement.
Right.
And it's like I'll
Yeah.
move a pencil and then like a piece of paper and then like a cup. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like what you're describing is exactly what I catch myself doing every fucking day that I'm just home alone.
I see.
It's like my brain is so scattered that it's like I don't know.
Sure.
So I don't know with this like quarantine, it's been a little bit on like high alert. There's
Right.
definitely been like times where it's like I'll get in the car and I'll start speeding really fast, and then like the cops lights come on and I'm not even thinking and I just keep
Right.
going, and I just for states I'll just keep going, and like helicopters and siren I can't even hear them.
Wait, so Hampton, Was that your casual way of telling us you had a high-speed chase the other day?
I just tell you, now's the time to go in God mode and like just do
Damn.
just do donuts at LAX and shit.
I mean, that's a good point. Donuts at LAX sounds fun. I'm going to read another email here. This email is from Tiffany. And the subject line of Tiffany's email is, y'all ever get in a fight with a stranger while panic shopping and then lose your car? I am excited to read this email.
I've heard a little bit of this, like with some family members that like they've just been getting into it, like going to like Costco and shit with people.
Dude, it's
People are
fucking
aggressive.
stressful. Yeah, people like want that toilet paper or whatever.
I got a shit. I need a mummy costume now. You just make a mummy
costume. I love the idea also that they're going to a costume store. Do you have Dracula? Do you have Dracula?
I have a ball to get to.
All right. So she says, my boyfriend and I are My boyfriend and I reluctantly gave into the shopping. Fuck, I'm going to start over. My boyfriend and I reluctantly gave into the panic shopping vibes and went grocery shopping where we filled an entire shopping cart with supplies for a few weeks. A woman abruptly stopped in her path and stared at us. I stopped to figure out if we were in her way, and she gave us a typical Vancouver look of passive-aggressive disdain. Parentheses, Vancouverites have always been great at social distancing. Wow, funny. Anyway,
all the way up there in the north.
As she walked past us, I blurted out, "There's no need to be rude." But I said it in a timid chipmunk voice, and it was one of those times when you stand up for yourself in a way that is both disproportionately angry and also too awkward to be taken seriously. Parentheses, Vancouver alert. Yeah. That's so funny. We then ran into her like 10 more times in the store. And as we were getting into the elevator, my boyfriend, who happens to be really tall, sweet, and loudly Italian, another cause for Vancouver side eye, given what's going on in Italy, he knocked over a big bottle of sanitary wipes that the store had placed by the elevator, causing a scene right in front of the same woman who watched us like that unibrow baby from The Simpsons as the elevator doors closed. Then when we got to the underground parking lot, our car was nowhere to be found. Parentheses, in the only parking level that the elevator had access to. We circled the garage multiple times with this huge shopping cart weighed down with more food than either of us had ever bought before, feeling more and more like assholes. It turns out we had parked in the only parking level that was mysteriously only accessible from some other secret elevator for another store, like those half floors from Being John Malkovich. The original elevator had taken us from our parking level to the store, but not the other way around. What the fuck? By the time we got back in the car, we agreed that it's probably in everyone's interest that we stay at home. P.S. I'm just glad we didn't attempt to push the cart down the car-only ramp to the floor below, which would most likely have resulted in some kind of Jackass-style tragedy. Jesus Christ, man. I will say this. I'm happy you didn't, like, the subject line is, y'all ever get in a fight with a stranger? And I thought it was going to come to blows, and I'm really happy it didn't.
Oh, yeah. That would be like, that would make the news in Vancouver. You would be like, the most wanted criminal was like, lady causes a ruckus.
Totally, dude. Talk about Vancouver alert. The email was about a fight, and the fight was just people looking at each other.
Yeah, it was mostly in the head. Like, you guys had a battle of wits. You know, a lot of perceived danger happening. I think grocery stores should be more confusing now more than ever. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Like, you go through the entire checkout, and then you like go to pay the person, and they're like, I don't even work here. And you're like, you just checked me out. Like, yeah, I don't know why you were doing that. You're dumb. Just make you feel bad. What the fuck? Well, where do I go? Oh, that's a different store. You actually can only check these items out at a different store.
Damn.
Good.
I mean, honestly, anything to sort of spice it up, you know? Maybe just sort of level the playing field. Make it so the people who get the toilet paper aren't the ones who think to wake up at 6 a.m. and go on delivery day. You know what I mean? Maybe you should, when you get toilet paper, it should be hidden all around the store. Just a roll, like 3 rolls an aisle behind different items. You know what I'm saying?
You know, comedy's basically dead. So what I've started doing is writing my act on a roll of toilet paper. and
Totally.
I sell it to you, and you can read my act while you go through your normal diarrhea, your normal
Totally.
healthy amount of regular style diarrhea.
So now you get a comedy album and you get to wipe your ass. It's
It's
both of the only things you want.
it's called Laugh Your Ass Off, and it will be.
There it is.
There
There
it
it
is.
fucking is,
There it
dude.
was.
It's called Wipe Your Ass Off, Wipe Your Laugh Off.
Wipe that smile off your face, and I just have shit all over a smile like on the cover.
You know what they say, laughter is the best toilet paper. You can't go to the doctor, so you might as well wipe your ass with my album. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I can't get over how much of that fight in Vancouver was like that woman didn't say anything.
No, I tell you, I think it's so funny where it's like, you know, what people perceive as a fight. But I mean, that's totally funny because I think it definitely fits what we asked for, which is like, you ever done just something stupid because of
Oh yeah,
and like,
it's also valid. When someone looks at me, when someone is upset with me and staring me down, I feel awful all day.
I just think also right now everyone's a suspect.
Right.
Like it's like I'm walking my new dog the other day through my neighborhood, and like there's just a 65, 70-year-old dude on his lawn, and like we just start talking. I've never really met him before, and he's like, "Oh, your new dog, right?" I'm like, "It's a pit bull," and I'm like, "Yeah, but don't worry, she's like totally fine. She's totally normal. What go ahead, pet her." And he's like, "Where do you live?" I'm like, "Over there." He's like, "Huh."
Whoa, weird.
So it just really made me go, "Oh shit!" I just told him my dog doesn't do shit, and he asked where I live, and then
Whoa.
I joked. I was like, "Well, in a couple of months, I'm gonna be pounding on your door begging for toilet paper," and like he didn't laugh at all. And I was
God.
like, "All right, I gotta go, man."
Jesus.
He was Greek, so there's definitely like there's some sort of language difference going on. But I was like, man, come on, dude, I'm laughing. Give me rhythm.
Yeah. Come on.
Like
seriously, dude.
Where do you live? And he goes, your wife. It's the blonde woman. I'm like, yeah.
The blonde woman. Jesus Christ, dude.
Just give me something, man.
Well, that's actually why I wanted to read Tiffany's email, because like, yeah, I mean, I'm laughing about the fact the Pacific Northwest is so passive aggressive. It's just real. My friend Danielle, who lived up there for a while, sent me a flyer for a seminar on how to deal with the passive aggression in Seattle.
That's fucking awesome,
dude. It's crazy. So it's very real.
Kill yourself. Number one tip. That'll show them.
But also, I wanted to read the email because, yeah, like everything Tiffany said is there are so many elements of what's going on. Like, one of my favorite things you said was like you're wandering around with this cart full of food, feeling more and more like an asshole. And dude, I relate to that so hard because like I don't want to go to the store that much. So when I've gone is only like I wait as long as possible, right?
Yeah.
But that also means that while I'm there, I'm really loading my cart up. And I know that I'm single and I don't have kids. And I know that everyone else knows that. Look at me. Fucking come on. So if I have a big cart full of shit, I feel like everyone's looking at me being like, this motherfucker. Oh, he thinks he deserves 2 cans of Campbell's Chunky? Well, we should beat his ass. And that's really that's
a real sweetheart moment. Me the other day at the grocery store, there's this old lady, she's like 4 feet tall. She can't reach this can of, chicken noodle soup. I go, oh man, I'll get that for you. And I took it and I rang it up and I got it. I got the soup. Fuck her. You're not tall enough? Fuck you. You're not tall.
Yeah, man. You're not going to win in the apocalypse if you're short and old.
You should team up with another 4 foot tall bitch and get on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, buy a trench coat. Quit fucking. Don't put this on me. What do you want to be? Two 4 feet tall losers, or do you want to be 1 8 foot tall winner?
Here's why it's no one's fault. We've been given no direction.
Yeah,
all that
right.
we've been told is like, don't panic. But like, no one's telling us the amount of supplies to buy or to prepare for. So it's like, you could have a full cart, and it's like, I don't know, maybe like as long as it's all food you technically would eat, it's not like perishable shit. I don't think you're like an asshole. Like literally, the government's not telling you what to buy or how much. All they're saying is like,
Right.
honestly, pretty scary stuff where they go, by the way, the water's not going to be turned off. Hey guys, don't worry, you're not gonna lose your power suddenly, and like
Right.
the internet's not gonna like disappear. I'm like, are this things gonna
Was that a
happen?
worry? Are you
Oh,
worried about that?
no, dude.
Yeah.
The mayor
Your
of
wife's
LA.
not gonna leave you.
No, it's like literally the mayor of LA said all this shit, and I turned to Georgia. I was like, "What the fuck, dude? This makes me feel like worse in a way." I mean, that's
Dude,
being
also
responsible, but it made me feel weird.
definitely. Also, how fucked up is it that like everyone in LA, we all got that text yesterday that was like, the mayor is now instituting testing for coronavirus. Go to coronavirus.lacity.org/testing to find out about testing. And I went to it and it was like, you are not eligible for testing. And I was like, well, thanks for the text message, you fucking dick. What?
And then an Amber Alert goes out. Be on the lookout for Dave Ross. Amber Alert. There's a David to the Ross. Suspect of foul play.
It's funny too. Now,
that's funny.
We never like really. Going to the grocery store was always just a given. We never really thought about it. This is another reason I love Tiffany's email is that like it's true. I feel a little bad now. I made fun of what a fight is in Vancouver so much. I hope you know I was just getting guff. I like you just outlined how we all feel because I think that like everyone right now at the grocery store feels two ways. The first is, oh my God, everyone's going to think that I'm the one taking the toilet paper. And then the other thing we're thinking is, I better not catch someone taking all the fucking toilet paper, man. And so we're all, no one's talking. We're all like meandering around this weird thing that's like we're so familiar with, but the tone of it is different and it doesn't have all this shit we all took for granted and we all feel stressed. And so we're all like, like, oh, do they hate me? Fuck.
Yeah,
let's get the fuck out of here, man. Where's my car?
It's okay to be hated. You know what I'm saying? Go survive. I don't care if you're like, well, these people think I'm a bit of a coward. Like, yeah, be an alive coward. Don't be a dead fucking asshole. I don't give a shit.
You heard it from Hampton, everybody. Be an alive coward, not a dead asshole. Oh man, all cowards are alive and all assholes are dead. You heard it here first, man.
Damn, I gotta go get some supplies, man.
Yeah, are you running out?
Well, I'm out of sawed-off shotguns.
Oh yeah.
I used them all. For gardening, I was just blowing holes in the ground, just wasting bullets.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's fast and furious farming. That's what I call it. FFF. I don't know. I'm like, I want to buy plants. I'm worried they're gonna die. And then there's like other stuff I should maybe do to just fix up my place. You know, now that I have this free
like
time.
Gun turrets.
Yeah.
I just want to get like a 15-foot tall wrought iron fence around my house.
Yeah, I need a hockey mask to wear in the post-apocalypse.
Yeah, totally. Like those masks from The Purge. I wonder if I can get some of those.
It'd be kind of tight if because right now they're really trying to figure out how to save everyone, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
How the government should intervene. And it's like, you know, they definitely floated around a little bit the idea of like universal basic income or like giving people like a financial reprieve. But I say we just give people guns. Let's do this.
Oh,
Deadwood.
Okay.
It's fucking Deadwood, dude.
Wow, Deadwood, the country.
Yeah. You can kill people in Vancouver if they give you dirty looks.
Oh no.
You know, kill them out in the street, call them out in the street.
Dude, I tell you what, if America becomes Deadwood, I'm going to Canada right away. Right away.
No, you won't. You
Yes,
liberals
I will.
always say, no, you always say.
Yeah, oh, okay. No, I'll listen to you. You're not wrong. Damn, man. I'll say this. I'm actually good now on non-perishable supplies. I do need to go on, like, I ran out of fruit and stuff. But because I think I might have talked about this on the show, but when people initially started talking about quarantining and when it started really sinking in like a week or two ago that food might run out, I didn't understand what was happening. And I told you this, right? I went to the bank. It was before anyone was quarantined or we even really knew. And the bank that I go to is around the corner from a Costco, and the line to get into Costco was all the way around the Costco into in front of the bank. And so I was leaving the bank and I was like, from my phone while I was driving, I was like, let's see if I can order some toilet paper on Amazon. And then by the time I got home, Amazon was sold out of toilet paper.
Yeah.
And so then I got on my
Wow.
computer and I was like, I should get some non-perishable food. I don't want to be a dick, but I want to have some. And so it was, most shit was gone, but I just went to the like Amazon Fresh thing and I typed in, I don't know, I was just like clicking on stuff that they did have. You could only get 2 max of things. I got some pasta, some coffee, some beef jerky, shit like that. And I shit you not, dude, as I was checking out, I would like click checkout and it would refresh and be like, that item is gone. And I'd be like, fuck. And then I would go to checkout and that item was gone. And so I finally did check out and I got like some stuff, but Amazon was running out of beef jerky while I was checking out, dude. And then, but I ended up getting like $40 worth of shit, and that all came in the mail yesterday. So I do have beef jerky, rotini, and McDonald's coffee. if you want any of those 3 things.
Jeff Bezos is just like eating carrots and like all the corn.
I'm sure he fucking is.
He's eating it all.
I'm fucking sure he is, that piece of shit.
He's trying to get strong.
Hey, y'all, thank you so much for listening. As always, I don't know, we say this every week, but it's because it's true. You are the best fans ever of all time. Thank you for sharing your stories with us and for listening and subscribing and sharing and all that shit. Thank you. We love you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. And if you want to support the podcast, or if you're able to, I should say, we do put out Patreon episodes every week. Patreon.com/y'allever, right?
Yeah, that's the one. And we have a Patreon bonus episode up this week as well, where we're reading more of your coronavirus emails. So if you want to hear more of that, check out that. Also, like I said at the beginning, I'm posting an early. I'm early posting the intro episode of my new podcast, Get Stupid, on the Y'all Ever Patreon. So check that out too.
All right, tour dates. I will be at Madison Square Garden tomorrow. South by Southwest the following day. Coachella
South by
and Bonnaroo.
Yeah, dude. Wait, does this mean I can't go to Coachella? Just like the biggest dickhead on earth. Wait, what about Coachella?
Oh, no.
Is Coachella still going to exist? Oh, man. I wouldn't be surprised if we found out that Coachella is where coronavirus started.
I feel like this is all a planned effort to end Coachella.
I think, yeah, it's not fair. Every year I spend $4,000 on my Coachella haircut, and I go there alone.
Touch faces.
And I touch my face to other people's faces. Did I tell you once I went to get my haircut? This is me being I'm really being shitty about a guy right now, but whatever, it bugged me. I get my haircut by the same lady, and I have for a long time. She's a friend at this point. She's great. But she has some clients that are like pay a lot. And so I was there once, and I was on time for my appointment, which is crazy. And I'm always late for hair appointments for some reason. But I was there, and she was cutting this dude's hair, and she was like, "Hey, it's going to take me a little bit longer with him. Is that okay?" And I was like, "Oh, that's fine." And but then it was like way longer. And the reason it was longer was he kept saying like, "Actually, could you fix this little part? Could you fix this little part? Could you please do this?" she kept being like, "You're done," and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think so." And it kept, and I was like, "What a fucking dick, man." So then,
The
she was
weirdest
like, "Hey,
thing is that it was
what?"
Michael Chiklis.
It was Michael Chiklis.
A
He didn't have any
fucking-
hair.
It's insane.
It was a watermelon. It was weird. So she eventually was like, I have to start with Dave. So she started with me. And then while she was starting to cut my hair, he was just standing 4 feet from her, looking at himself in the mirror. And then eventually he was like, actually, I'm really going to need more. And it was just so like tiny little strands of hair. And when he left, she was like, I'm sorry about him. He's like a really high paying client. And that was his Coachella haircut. And I was like, oh my God. Fuck him.
He started it. Find his number. Let's kill him. His Coachella haircut. By the way, I know you can see this on video screen. Dave, I've given myself my first haircut in quarantine.
Whoa, really? It looks good.
I cut about an inch or so off everything.
Wait, what's that last thing you said?
I took off like an inch, basically.
It's good, man. Wow, I'm into it. I'm impressed. Thank you guys so much for listening. We are glad you're alive. As always, we love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Scarpins Avenue.